to your mind are the special problems that Aborigines encounter under European law, given your wealth of experience during those years? Just in your words, we've heard many opinions written and spoken about them from other people, but I'd be very interested in yours.
Well, as you say, everybody said this, I think, but the ones who remained out of the town and lived on settlements such as Papunya, Haas Bluff, Arayonga, Yuendamu, where there's all that trouble at the moment, they lived according to their own laws, and whilst they were aware of European laws, they ignored them where they conflicted with their own laws. Killing one another is not necessarily contrary to Aboriginal law if it's a payback, even though it might amount to murder under, our law. That's a well-known example. A big conflict going right back to when I first went there in 1960 was that they were in effect forbidden to drink alcohol. Now that was an interesting legislative exercise. There was an act called I think it was the Welfare Act, which created people called wards. Even then they were conscious that there might be discrimination problems by legislating against a particular segment of the population. So the Act provided for the creation of a register of wards, which became known around the place as the Stud Book. The Register of Wards was published in a Government Gazette, and lo and behold, everybody on it was black. And then that was followed by a law which forbade wards drinking alcohol and provided for a mandatory penalty of 6 months jail for anyone supplying a ward with liquor. And that's what got Albert Namatjira into trouble. Again, you had this conflict. The Aborigines liked to drink, a lot of them liked to drink. They could see white people drinking their heads off, and they weren't allowed to. And Namatjira was inveigled by some of his friends to leave a bottle of rum by the road, by the Hermannsburg Road, which was duly picked up, and somehow the police got onto it, and he went to jail. I think it was really the beginning of the end for Namatjira. But I must say, in those days, the things you hear about now were just not heard about. I didn't ever hear about any systematic abuse of children. There was plenty of violence. Women did cop it, particularly when they were in Alice Springs and everybody got drunk. But I didn't ever hear of the awful things you hear about now. And one reason that I suspect is that the settlements were fairly well ordered and well controlled. Just setting aside questions of religion, the Hermannsburg mission, the Lutheran mission, and the Catholic mission at Santa Teresa were fairly well run, and people had things to do and they were educated. But then after Gough Whitlam was elected, Gough Whitlam and Nugget Coombs decided that the Aboriginals should be self-governing, and so the management of these areas was taken from the missions and given to local Aboriginal councils. And I think things deteriorated after that, I must say.
So as you say, there was the self-government that was favoured by Gough Whitlam and Nugget Coombs, and thereafter things changed.
I think that's a fair comment. I haven't followed it all very closely, but you had a revival of tribal jealousies, and which was not subject to any control by missionaries. I don't myself think very highly of Christian missionaries or any other sort of missionaries, because I don't believe in God, but nonetheless they were well motivated.
And imparted a bit of a sense of purpose?
Yeah. They provided work for people on the missions, growing the garden and raising stock and so on. And also, of course, a lot of the Northern Territory is now Aboriginal land, and a lot of it consists of cattle stations which are not well run. Don't ask me what the answer to all this is.